Okay, it's recording. So do you know the birth dates of you and all your siblings? Well, obviously you do of yourself, and birthplaces.
Your grandfather was 9 years younger than me,
Okay.
so his birthday I have no idea.
Okay. Do you know were you all born in the same place?
Yes, as a matter of fact, yes.
Where was that?
In Bow,
Bow.
London, yeah.
Do you know which hospital?
The London Hospital
London Hospital. Okay. And where was your first house?
in Bow.
Do you remember the street?
It's not there anymore, but I remember the street. The street was Trafalgar Square, but it wasn't Trafalgar Square in the centre of London.
Right.
It was College Terrace, 5 College Terrace.
And how many years did you live there?
We left there when I was 7,
Okay.
so I lived there 7 years.
So before Harold was born, then.
Yes, he was born in Golders Green,
Okay. And where did you live in Golders Green?
Parkway.
Okay. And what were your parents doing at that time?
What were they doing? Well, my mother was giving birth. My father had the optical business, a thriving optical business. But you don't hear about him.
Well, they're trying to get a sense of the background of what was going
It
on.
was a country area at that time. He wasn't brought up in the streets.
Right.
He had a very sheltered upbringing.
Who's this?
Your
Harold.
grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah. He was not a sports person.
Uh-huh.
Far from it. He was, and he wasn't a studious person.
Uh-huh.
He was quite a moody person that I recall. But
Do you remember his career? What did he go to university? Did he study anywhere?
no, he went to Garden Suburb School. That was a primary school.
Yeah.
And then I think the war broke out. It would be about that time. And they moved to Paynton. That thing moved.
Still going.
They moved to Paynton. He went to school in Paynton, and I lost track of his education. In fact, I lost track of him. We weren't close as children because of the age difference.
Was he closer in age to your other sibling?
Yes, my sister Hannah was 2 years older than he was. There were 4 children. There was my older sister, who was close with me, and then there was a gap of 9 years, and then the other 2 were born. So since I was away during the war years, I didn't have too much to do with them.
Right.
And it was only after the war that we got together and we got a little bit closer than we had been.
So what was Harold doing during the war?
In 1948, let's see, it'd be 46. When did the war end? In 45. He was conscripted into the army in 1946. And he was sent to Palestine at that time, and Egypt. And he was a sergeant in the Ordnance Corps. It's funny, he was in charge of shipping arms to the Arabs. And since he was an ardent Zionist, he really went against his grain and I was telling Peter and Louise, he used to go to shul on Friday nights, and he'd slip the rabbi details of the arms shipment. And after the war, or when he was demobbed, Israeli government wanted to give him a commendation, and he couldn't take it because, you know, he was an optician.
Uh-huh.
And
So what, after the war ended, when he came back, do you know what he did?
yeah, he went to school and became an optician. And then he opened a shop in Stanfordville, I think it was,
Uh-huh.
which he stayed in for years. He lost it again.
It's still there. Yeah.
And he got involved with a lady who believed in spending his money,
Uh-huh.
and he got into tremendous debt over the years, and that played on his mind to some extent. He didn't know which way to turn. At one point, I lent him money, and it didn't help. He complained to me one day that he couldn't understand why he had no money. And I went over it with him, and I discovered that he was spending more than he was earning, and he agreed with me and said, "Oh yeah, we'll cut back." And then I came back to the States, and the next thing I heard, they were going for an extended holiday in Spain and Italy.
Which decade was this?
That would be in the late 60s, early 70s. When he died, he had well, you know that your father helped out.
Right.
Or did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Took over his debts. And he was not a well man. He had like 23 operations.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know when he died of finally. I know he died because they buried him. And what else would you like to know?
What was your best memory of him?
Best memory, he and I laughed a lot. And we managed to... I went to London one day, and he had never been in a casino. And I took him to the Playboy Club. And he became a gambler after that.
Mm-hmm.
But we had dinner there, and when we came out, he said, "I don't know where the car is. I parked it here, it's not there anymore." We laughed a lot, but discovered that the police had towed it. And that's one of my good memories of him, because he just took it very nicely and became a big joke.
Do you have any other distinct memories?
Yes. You know, his wife committed suicide.
Yeah.
And she was somewhat deranged before that, but he started an affair with his secretary.
Mm-hmm.
That was Kit.
Yeah.
And he swore to me one day that there was nothing between them. But I subsequently